Hello, my Google Plus friends or folks who are watching from anywhere. Hi, I'm Elaine Nieberding, and it's Father's Day. That makes it June 21st of 2015. And it was just a few days ago that I heard about this new application to use with Hangouts called Crowdcast. And apparently it acts as I'll call it a wrapper, but it's another engagement platform so that people who are watching live Hangouts on air aren't dependent on going over to the Google Plus comment stream to engage, give comments, ask questions, or engage with each other. They now have a new place to come, this Crowdcast arena, space, whatever we want to call it, to come and get together. And so today, I've been practicing learning how to weave, this starting a live hangout in with Crowdcast, how to announce it to the public, and just get a little practice going. Now, as it turns out, I don't think I have many people watching, so the practice may be limited, but nonetheless, I have one gentleman with me here today in the Hangout panel, and that's my friend Ron Snaberger. Ron, tell me where you're hanging out from.
Hanging out here in Jupiter, Florida. It's warm and sunny today, and like it is most of the time down here. But I'm in an air-conditioned room, my studio, where I have my computer and talking to you, trying to learn this new gadget called Crowdcast.
Right. So what I do know is that Crowdcast was launched publicly in March of this year by the developer, a young guy named Sai Hussain. And he was doing it actually at what was called a launch festival event, where he and other, new developers were presenting their new hot thing to both live audiences and people who were present for this event. And he got to make about a 3 to 4 minute pitch describing what crowdcasting is. And apparently, he says this is a way to revolutionize the reach of webcasting type things like Hangouts, live stream, and Ustream. And those three ways of doing webcasts can be woven in to the Crowdcast arena. And interestingly, people can come into these events and they can be public events or more unlisted, more privatized kind of events. They can require registrations or not. If they require registrations, then someone will be supplying their email simply because their email is registered with Twitter, if they're kind of registering through the link that's appearing in Twitter, or from Facebook, or from Google+. Now, there are marketers these days and service providers that want to grow their followings by actually having the email lists of the people who are exploring their content. That's kind of a reasonable thing to do. And over here on Google+, I know growing numbers of folks who have kind of found their voice, explored this Hangout platform here, and have been largely interacting with folks on G+. Well, they're feeling like, I want to expand my reach. I want to not only have people be able to watch what I've got on YouTube, but I really have to have more lively engagement. I might like to know something more about the demographics. I'd like to do polls in the middle of my Hangout presentation. And apparently this new Crowdcast platform provides some of those things, and it's free. it may have some of the features of some of the wrappers that we have heard about, like Webinar Jam. Ron, have you heard about Webinar Jam, or have you ever attended a Webinar Jam, seminar?
Yeah, I have. I've taken a course with Steve Dotto on screencasting, and he used Webinar Jam, and he's been using it for a while. And it like the comments on the side are real time. Um, but this seems like it takes a little bit of that in, a little bit of business hangouts, and then has the polls and a little bit more to it. So I think there's, this kind of takes in a little bit of all three.
Yeah. Well, so if I get more experienced and savvy about how to effectively use this tool, it may be that I'm using this for some or all of my future Hangouts. Well, we'll have to see. But like anything else, it will behoove me as a Hangout host to provide the education to my viewers about how to effectively use and engage in this platform. So, for example, you and I, who are both familiar with gathering together in comment streams on Google Plus events, the frames that are hosting the live video broadcasts, we know it's fun to talk with the other people who are showing up to attend. It's just like talking with somebody that you might meet in the lobby of a movie theater.
Right.
You say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm really thrilled to see you here." And then as you pay attention alternately between what's going on screen and the comment stream, you see other people's questions. You see if people are kind of thinking and responding the way you are. And that has been such a dynamic part of experiencing, engaging with folks, sharing a message, sharing an experience on Google Plus with Hangouts. But now with Crowdcast, apparently we're going to bring people in together to have that same kind of experience, and we'll be able to bring them in from Facebook or from Twitter. Well, I'm not on Twitter yet. Might have to get on over there pretty fast.
I just signed up for Twitter a couple of days ago, and I also signed. Steve Dotto had a little webinar on Periscope. I signed up with that. Mia Voss does stuff on Periscope. So this is, I think you could bring people in from all over, by using something like this Crowdcast, because you can get to your base on Facebook, and they can get in without going to Google Plus and and getting a Gmail account. So, which I don't think they have to do now, but it makes it a little easier for them. So I think it's going to open doors for the people who are doing Hangouts on air and doing webcasts.
So, Ron, it's interesting. People have always actually been able to come on over to a Google Plus event page and watch a Google Plus event from a Google Plus event page. Even if they weren't a Google member, you could still get that link and hop on over there. You just wouldn't have the capability to engage and insert your comments and questions.
Right.
But like everything else, you have to develop, relationships with people to, get them curious about your stuff anyway. So I'm actually hoping that the Crowdcast platform, wrapper, whatever we want to call it, might be an easier way for me to have group events that actually draw in from the laughter yoga global community that I connect with on Facebook, right?
Yeah, right.
But while I thought I would be much more active getting people involved, bringing them on over to do Hangouts, I've recognized I really did not want to start training people how to do the Hangout participation component of it until I really thought there could be large numbers of people that could easily access it and follow it along and have some decent engagement from all around the world. And with Crowdcast, it looks like that might be possible. Now, with Webinar Jam, that's also possible, but that requires a license. Okay, I have the license. I have a lot to learn and explore there. But apparently Crowdcast is not going to have that dollar barrier. Crowdcast apparently will earn some of its money from events, especially conferences and multi-sectioned events, like a conference that might happen over a day with many segments to it, with different presenters. Crowdcast will earn its money by, let's say, if $100 is the fee to register to attend a conference like that, then Crowdcast would get some, percentage, 5% or something like that, of the gate or the processing fee or something. Anyway, obviously, there has to be a way for them to earn income too.
Right. Yep.
And
it's just like business hangouts. They have a monthly fee in different levels, so that's how they earn their money.
Right. And so different strokes for different folks. So let's see. I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to go and let's see if this. Okay. So now I can actually act like a guest and put in a question here. Ask a question or suggest a topic. So my question, like, do I ask the question as the host, or am I asking questions to the other people who might show up?
I don't know.
Did you actually watch the demo that was done on the Crowdcast website?
I saw, I clicked on something on YouTube, which was a few minutes, and I watched it. And that's all I saw. I didn't get on their website.
Okay.
Which I have to do. I want to get on there and because it's going to be beneficial for me to learn this too as a guest, to learn what's going on.
Well, yeah, for example, if I am hosting a Hangout and I want to be using Crowdcast, then there will be comments here. Here's an interesting thought. Could I hold a Hangout and be doing both an engagement with Crowdcast and run the comment tracker? Because this exists as an app right over on the left-hand side of the screen. So, for example, if I want to turn on my Hangout toolbox, which I didn't do yet, I'm going to take a moment just to do it, and say Crowdcast Playtime. Yeah, okay, Crowdcast Playtime. Yeah, I can still do comment tracker and open and close comment tracker.
And still watch the comments from Crowdcast.
I could, I could have one person on my panel watching the comment tracker, and then I could have another person watching, watching the stuff via Crowdcast. So, just for fun, I'm just going to type in a nonsense question. What letter of the alphabet is your favorite?
I know what that one is. The letter F.
Oh, G. No, F. No, F.
F, yeah.
Effing right, Ron Snaberger. Okay, so there's a question. So did you make a question?
No, let me see what I can
So
do
put
here.
in a question, because now also on the right-hand side of the panel at the very top are like these two little red quote balloons on top of each other. Say hello. Oh, so this is a way to comment too. Oops.
Yeah, those two red things are for like a comment stream. I typed in when does this launch, but I top two answered, but I don't see where the question did a question go to you that I asked? Ask a question. Okay, let me type in it again.
Okay, so once again, I am looking to understand. It may be that I have to have open to actually see everybody else's things. I have to have open in a separate panel the Crowdcast event.
That's
So
possible.
let's see. Let's see. And this one ended up being 4, didn't it? Did I change the number of this to 4?
Oh, that I don't know.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh. Oh, maybe. Geezy weezy. Let's see. Now this, okay, this is 4. Aha. It's 4. Anyway, so when you start using any new tool, it's like you have to get familiar with the geography. Where do you look for what? Where do you go to edit? What steps do you have to go to edit something? If you thought you knew what you were doing, but then you weren't, you were kind of screwed up. And so then you got to go back in and fix stuff. So that's...
I know that happened with Webinar Jam with Steve Dottle. He used it from the beginning, and all of a sudden they updated it, and he got on, and it was confusing because they made some changes that he wasn't aware of, and that happens all the time.
Okay, so let's go in here. Okay, all right.
Well, what I see here, you asked a question and I asked two. It says no topics or question answered. So I don't know if the host has to answer the questions or not.
Okay, so I'm now going to send to Candy said maybe she'd come to this, and Tatiana Q. Okay.
Oh, Elaine, I
Yes.
just clicked on that thing that says top 3
Yeah.
next to answered. Then the questions show up.
Okay. All right, but again, it's orientation to like where you look for stuff. Okay. So, but do you have another panel open?
No, just that one that opened the Hangout Play with Crowdcast, and we where it says type and ask the questions, and then um, where it has top 3 and answered, I clicked on top 3, and then all of a sudden the questions, the one that you asked, what letter of the alphabet is your favorite? And I asked, when did this launch? And then I asked again, when did this app launch? So the questions are there. And then it has edit or delete, so you can delete them also.
Okay. And so, yeah, but I still haven't figured out how to get to that too. So, oh, I think I know what I need to do. I need to see, it's like, let's see, crowd.
That panel opened when I clicked on register or RSVP or whatever that was in the beginning. And then it opened that panel.
Okay, Sunday 1:15. Let's see if this one. Okay. Oh, okay. I now have this tab open. Okay. So I can see that, and I don't. In other words, I'm not going to get the feedback thing by having that play in the background. But let's see. Polls.
Yeah, you go down there, it says top 3 and answered.
Let's see. Oh, top 3.
You click on that.
Oh, why is it do nothing?
Ooh. And it opened. Then I scrolled down, and your question was there, and mine
Oh, you
too.
know what? So you have this open in a new tab, correct?
No, the Hangout tab, that I opened up,
You're still
and
looking at all of that from within the Hangout tab.
yeah,
Okay.
and it had that in the beginning there. It had RSVP, and I said, should I click on it? You said, yeah, go ahead, let's see what happens, and I did, and then it opened this
Oh,
panel up.
question and answers.
Where it says ask question or suggest the topic. If you up farther, it has top 3 and answered. And
that's it. Is that all in the panel?
yep,
Okay.
it's all like where the where the comment tracker or the.
Oh,
And
okay. Wait a minute. Top 3. Now I'm doing better. Okay. I'm learning.
it might be different for the host than it is for the
Okay.
for me.
So now
Yeah.
I'm going to start answering, because apparently this start answering feature then allows this thing to be time stamped. So when people go in later and they're reviewing comments or questions, from others, for those things that come up as questions, I can start answering. So I'm going to do that now. So we'll see how this comes out as a timestamp.
Yeah, that has to be done by you. It's not. I don't see anything here for me to start answering,
Oh,
so
in
that
other
has to be
words, you're
done by.
not able to do that.
No.
Okay. So what I'm then seeing is this is host dependent for doing everything. Ay, 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 ay.
Now, maybe when you have your guest on the Holy Shift show, he might be able to tell you a way to do that.
Well, you know what? For the people that are doing Hangouts via pages,
Uh-huh.
they can have, they can have different people come in via the page with someone who's
Ah,
also designated as the moderator.
I got you.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Then
if
it
they
might
come
work.
in that
Yeah.
way, then they might have the same kind of function.
Right.
Um, so done answering. Well, anyway, so the question was by one of the very curious viewers, what is your favorite letter of the alphabet? Well, it's the sixth letter of the alphabet. It's the letter F. And F doesn't mean failure. F means flock. F means fabulous. F means fantastic. F means feedback. F means
Phenomenal.
right. Actually, my new favorite F word is frock. F-R-O-C-K. Because
I should have
now
remembered that. Yep.
if I catch myself being reactive, judgmental, I get to ask myself, what in the frock are you wearing? In other words, what attitude am I wearing? What am I dressed in that is going to affect the way I can engage and interact with people? If I'm
Right.
wearing a hate and a judgmental frock and a defensive frock, people might be standoffish. They might not be as effing friendly. So F is my favorite letter of the alphabet. And now we're going to proceed to when did this launch? And Ron, even though I'm going to press this button in a minute to kind of timestamp when the answer is, would you like to give the answer? Were you listening closely when I talked about when Crowdcast launched to the world? Do you remember?
I believe it was March.
You're right. March 5th, 3/5/2015. You're absolutely correct, Ron Snaberger. And we have two of the repeat questions, so we're going to delete that question. I have the opportunity to delete questions. I can also, now, as the host, I can actually timestamp by marking in a question. So another way of a feature a Hangout host can use this is to like just denote sections of the show. Would you introduce the next guest? Okay, so let's say I had another guest on there, or another piece of content. I could just use those words in the form of a question or something and put it there, so then when people come back to the replay, they can bullet those parts of the show and find them. So we'll see what that is like. So right here, I am now answering the questions. Would you like to introduce the next guest? The next guest I'm going to introduce is my friend, Sharpie. Sharpie is one of my most favorite friends. I use Sharpie nearly every day to label papers so I'll find them easily, to list on the many papers on my desk, categories that I need to find them in, or file them in, or collect them in. So now you know we have a guest today on the Sunday Fun Day Play Day with Crowdcast, and here is Sharpie. Say hello,
I
Sharpie.
use
Hello.
I use Sharpie too. I use Sharpie a lot for when I'm doing engraving to mark my guidelines on my glass so I know where to engrave.
There you go. So what I'm going to do now, just for fun, I probably have way too many tabs open on my computer, but I'm going to see if there's anything else I have that I could go to screen share on. Let's see. Oh, I can go to the other tab with Chromecast on it. Let's see. Oh, we'll stop sharing that. We didn't want to do that. Okay, so let's see. If I open up a new tab, let's see if that will show up.
I have an edit and delete button here also, but it's only for my comments.
Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, so Candy, okay, Candy is telling me she had an error for the thing I put in before for my link. So, hold on. Let me go back. So, dear Candy Javier Sakai from Tokyo, a joyful light on Google Plus, and a capturer of some amazing photographic images around Tokyo that she shares with us. She is with us on the Google Plus event page that I created for this. And she said there was an error that she couldn't get in. And we'll see whether she got my little notice to her and see if she can come in. Oh, if she's up and awake and around, let me invite her on into the Hangout. How about that? Is that a good idea, Ron? Ron, have you
Sure,
ever
I
met
think so.
Candy?
Absolutely.
All right, so Candy. Oh.
Last time I got to talk to Candy was when it was her birthday. There was a hangout on her birthday, and I got to jump in and say hello and happy birthday to her. That was a while ago.
Yeah. So today is Father's Day. Ron, I know you have a father.
And my father's passed away, but yes, I think of him. Yes.
And in this lifetime, have you been a father to your
Yes.
knowledge?
Yeah. I'm a stepfather, and he called me today, or actually, I called him. We usually try to see who beats who to the phone. And then right before your hangout started, your crowdcast started, I should say, is my granddaughter called and wished me a happy Father's Day. So we haven't seen her in about 2 years. So it was nice to get to talk to her for a little bit.
So it's going to be very interesting on Tuesday talking to the developer You know, I have no idea whether he has a regular team of people providing feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But what I do know is that during the period of development for this, he did host a huge event with something like over 30,000
Wow.
developers and, geeky techie people participating in a conference that was set up on this platform. And within the demo that you see on Crowdcast, you'll see they show, a whole lot of people asking questions and making comments. If there are a couple hundred people in the room live at any one time, and then people are asking questions, then it's easy to actually use this feature, which is like votes. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
When
I
I
saw
posted
that.
my question, well, apparently, if you like somebody's question a lot, then you can click, votes.
Yeah.
And a host can go through if there are different questions. Votes are kind of like likes. Oh yeah, that would be a great
Yeah.
question to ask, do that. Now polls, create a poll. I'm just for fun. What's my question? What continent are you watching from? So answer one would be America, South America, Europe, Asia, okay. So Australia, New Zealand, is that all?
Well, I know Africa's a continent. I I think Australia and New Zealand might be on the same continent.
What's that continent called? I should know my geography
Yeah,
better.
I forgot too. I used to know all that when I was in school. When you don't use it, you forget it.
I'm just putting it down as Australia and New Zealand. Is the Arctic a continent and the Antarctic?
Let's see, I'm trying to think.
You know what?
America,
But
South
I don't think we have many people there. So I'm just going to leave those as, okay. No. Oh, phooey. Once again, you have to learn to use these different applications. So I wanted to get rid of one of my answers on the poll. So I clicked cancel. Well, it just wiped everything out.
Canceled everything out. Oh.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of neat that we're doing this because, you're learning, and also you're going to have questions for him when to give him some feedback.
Okay. But the sad thing for me is I can't have my other panelists participate.
Yeah, that is a bad point. Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, if people used to doing Hangouts are going to have this easy to use, like not everybody who does Hangouts wants to have to create a page just so they can get help.
Right.
You know what? My perception is that, I might go to doing Hangouts from pages soon, but that'll be linked to another YouTube channel. So, I'm collecting all my stuff on my YouTube channel. So right now, I'm not inclined to want to do my Hangouts from a page. I might have to do it if I want to have other people be able to operate this stuff. We'll see. Good. I am developing questions for the man.
Yep.
But I want to be kind. I don't want to put him on the spot, but I do want to let him know that the Google Plus arena of Hangout hosts might be a great pool of people that can really, help the developers tweak it so it gets better. I understand. So the young guy, created this platform. He found investors. He launched it. He has some funds from investors, so he's hiring other developers. But there's a whole element of marketing and broadcasting about your thing to the world and getting people interested and getting people trying it out. And there's a lot to making something fly,
And that's the only way you can find out how it works and the bugs that people find that they don't like and give you the feedback for them. Is by getting it out there and trying it, and then you have to make some corrections.
The other thing I got to figure out is how, if I create events that are dummy events that I didn't hold, or there's content in them that I don't want to save, how do I delete them? It's like, just like on YouTube. You don't want to have a lot of junk that's saved. So, and these are things that you figure out, but because they're so new, they don't really have a lot of tutorials. It's like, here's one demo.
Yeah.
And then here it is. And like many things, you hope it's user-friendly and intuitive as you go about it. And we'll see. If it is, then more people will flock to it. If it's not, it's like, easy come, easy go. Who's the next kid on the block? Oh yeah, I'll spend a couple $100 a year and I'll buy Webinar Jam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the other hand, sometimes people look at all the features of Webinar Jam Studio. They're starting out with Hangouts, and they start looking at that, and then it's like, overwhelm city. How do I learn that? How do I do all that? Oh, that's too much for me. So sometimes something a little simpler is more inviting. At least for now, this seems simpler. And if it has some of the features, then it might be good for some folks, or some reach, or some type of events and content sharing. All right. All right. When did this launch?
I know one thing I have to do. I have to get a new service provider because mine just does not have enough upload speed.
Well, once again, Ron, I'm noticing blue background, red shirt, white beard. Very patriotic. It's a good thing you're an American. Okay, so let me go back to the polls. Okay, so the poll never got created. Oh, what's my question? Where are you hanging? So once again, in the analytics that they're available with this, apparently it will, it'll show you at any given time, like maybe how many people are registered and how many people are actually viewing. And if you're setting up the event and you are requiring people to register, not just kind of publicly watch, then apparently those email addresses, which are either the primary email address, either linked to Google Plus or the one linked to your Facebook account or the one linked to your Twitter account, those are the ones that then show up on your list. So in other words, the host can actually generate a list to, for his funnel. So
that's a good part of it.
Yeah. Well, and once again, then the question is, how is that data available? How does that interface with autoresponders? Do you have to manually link it? Do you have to dump the information into a spreadsheet? Like apparently with Webinar Jam, for people that sign up, you can have all of those things linked to an autoresponder, company. So they're set up to work with, all the major autoresponder companies, iContact, Aweber, MailChimp, yada, yada, yada. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to finish creating this poll just for fun. And then I'm going to go get a tissue because my nose is sniffly. And North America. So where are you hanging out from? North America. South America. Europe. Asia. New Zealand. Europe, Asia. Other? All right, now let's save this poll or add the poll. Okay. So.
Okay, now.
Can you respond to the poll?
Yeah, it has a poll here with a 1. Now, when I clicked on it, it opened it up. It says, "Where are you hanging out from?" And it has the continents that you put in, and you vote for one. So I'm going to vote for North America.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
The answer just showed up.
Yeah.
There's one vote. So it's 100% of the vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it looks like, I'm curious here. I'm going to click on Europe. That's not good because
it doesn't let you answer.
I could vote for more than one.
Ah. People can skew the data.
They can skew the data.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I
can vote for every one of them.
If you are answering the poll so as not to skew the data, answer only once. Okay, now here's something. Let's try as we put in, add a comment. See if you can add a website link. Let's try to add a website link. Or even better, my Google Plus profile page. Okay, and it is google.com/plus Elaine Nieberding. So if you see that there in the comments.
Yes, I do. But I had to click on the red questions up in the top right. But yes, it's there. It says google.com/plus Elaine Nieberding.
Okay.
So you put it in, yeah.
I put it in. Let's see if it can become a clickable link. Because in Google Plus, if you add a link address, a URL, you can. I'm pretty sure you can click it.
Okay, let me see if I can click on it. No. Oh, wait.
Now I just put one in with www, and it looks like
that one I could click on. Yep. The hand comes up. I could click on that one.
Okay.
Let me click on it.
Okay.
It's loading.
Does it open a new tab?
Yes, it did. It opened a new tab. Yep, it opened a new tab.
Okay. So now we know something else. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You can put, I'm going to see if we can put clickable links in polls and clickable links in questions.
Okay.
Just to see. Clickable links will require probably an HTTP, because not all addresses are www, but www did work.
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm going to go on back to ask another question. Will links work if put inside this question box? Oh, I have to ask another question.
Okay. Yes, it will.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right, finding things out. I'm going to try this within polls too. Poll number 2. Create a poll. Have you ever visited before .com Oh. All right. Let's see how this works.
Okay.
Nope. Those are
No.
not clickable.
They're not clickable now.
Okay, so comments and questions are clickable. Polls are not. Poll answers are not. Okay, good. All right. So, Ron, would you pretend like you have visited yeslaugh.com, laughter yoga, at AOL.com, and www.google and my profile page?
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Just answer it. Just answer like, yes, I visited Yes Laugh. Yes, I visited AOL. Yes, I visited. No.
I could vote for every one of those.
Yeah. Now. Okay. Now, is there a way for you to change your answer?
Yeah, all I got to do is click on the one that the vote.
Okay.
And it'll
okay.
delete it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good. So we've seen that feature too. So what I want to do now is I want to just go on over and I don't see that anybody else has really showed up, for this event.
Right.
So that's fine. So I think now what's interesting, if people want to view a rebroadcast, like a replay. Oh, this is very interesting. See, think about it. A lot of people when they do Hangouts on air. Oh, this is a good question. A lot of people will host a Hangout on air, and then they'll go back in and they might edit. They're going to take out clips or or whatever. And then on YouTube, that fixed portion is then there for people to see and replay. And it's, it might be cleaner or whatever. Okay. Now, since this is a Hangout on air saved as a YouTube, then if I don't want access to this event to be publicly available on YouTube, then after it's processed, I have to go in and make it, like unlisted or private. And what I understand is that when you go in on YouTube, you just see the YouTube component of it. In other words, you don't get the, the wrapper of questions and engagement unless you've registered. The question to me would be, if you put in your YouTube description, if you want to watch and see the engagement, let's say you made it publicly available, but if you wanted to watch it with the engagement, then you could put, it's like the registration link into the YouTube description, and then somebody could go there and, watch it as an after event.
Yeah.
You know,
Can you hear me, Elaine?
I can.
Okay, I hear you, but my screen locked up.
You
And
can hear me?
I can hear you, you can hear me, but I can't do anything at all on the screen. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I've learned a lot through this practice, and what I'd like to do is just kind of close out now.
Okay.
Check a couple things over in YouTube, and but I have learned a lot,
Yeah,
and it's like
it
everything
seems
else.
like it. Yeah.
Play with it, and if our intention is to be truly helpful to this developer, then we can share some of the things that we think about relative to engagement with the features that we've got, and and how we'll weave this together. This practice has been good.
Well,
And
if you need me to practice again, just let me know.
okay, so the show, it maybe early Tuesday, maybe.
No, early Tuesday won't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like most of Monday, I'm going to be over at my parents', and then
I have a
I'm
doctor's
coming home
appointment
about
Monday.
8 o'clock tomorrow night. So I don't know.
Well,
This is probably going to be my only practice before.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, we learned something anyway.
We did. We learned. What got convoluted for me was I did not want to just set this up as a scheduled Hangout on Air, because to make that available to the public, that doesn't get them registering.
Right. Yep.
So I had to create it as what's called just a Google Plus event, which is a frame. Now, within this frame that I set up for this event today, I could have added a trailer where I give an explanation. I didn't have time to do that, but that will likely be helpful as a way to broadcast it. And I can even include within there like a screen share that shows what this setup is like. Right, but then at the time of the event, if they have, when they've registered, there is something they can do with Google Calendar, so they'll get a reminder on Google Calendar. Just
Yeah,
like
I
this.
got one on my Google Calendar about the event today.
Okay. And that was probably the reminder for the Google event as opposed to the Crowdcast event. But when you're registering via Crowdcast, then there is a way, because some people might be registering on Crowdcast from Facebook, right?
Right.
So they're not getting a reminder from a Google Plus event. They're getting a reminder from Google Calendar for the Crowdcast event.
Right. Yep.
Which is good. Okay, I'm gonna go. My brain's spinning. I got laundry to pick up. I got a suitcase to pack because 4 times a week, I stay over at Ma and Pa's.
Right. Yeah.
So, thank you for your superb help in playing with crowdcasting. It was great to have you with me, and I appreciate your willingness to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, it was fun. I learned too, so that's good. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you. And for anybody else who might happen to have been watching one way or another, somehow, hello. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. And goodbye. On Tuesday, we hope you will come to see the developer, Sai Hussain, and learn a little more about Crowdcast from the developer's mouth. Take care.